Today on Ladies in the Lobby, we're talking about the console war. Are we fighting the good fight here? And how do you win a console war? Do exclusives really matter? Find out right now.
I do believe that the console wars exist, if not because I read the internet.
I think the console war is 100% fabricated, just completely made up. It's about as fake as all the headlines that are like, is PC gaming dead? It's not. PC gaming is not dead. It's not dying. There is no console war. It's like two giant companies that, because of healthy competition, are constantly improving themselves and making the consumer happy.
I am fucking exhausted about talking and hearing about the console war. On another level, I think that it's really important that we do have all these companies that are vying to be better than one another, and as consumers, that should be really important to us, that Sony cares what it's doing against Microsoft, and that Microsoft will, change its DRM policy to accommodate us.
I personally, throughout the rest of the year, do not think that there is a console war. However, every time E3 rolls around, I'm always like, oh man, did you see what Sony brought? Oh shit, now it's Microsoft's turn. For some reason, every year, it's who brings it to E3.
PS4 is way ahead of Xbox One right now in terms of sales globally, but I think 2015 and 2016 could be the years that Xbox One makes a play to catch up, because their first-party lineup is just stronger than PlayStation's right now. And Wii U has great software as well for people who love Nintendo. When Nintendo announces NX, what is that? Is that going to compete with PS4 and Xbox One, or is that going to be in the next generation? I don't think so, because the next generation has got to be at least 5 or 6 years away, if not longer. So it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out.
I've worked for companies that have made Xbox exclusives, and I've worked for companies that traditionally have made PlayStation exclusives. So it's very much alive because I watch the debate happen. For me, I just feel like you have choice. Why are you angry about choice? You have options.
No console wars. Why just get one? Why don't you get both? Get all the systems.
Yeah, I guess we can let the console war keep happening, whatever, I don't care.
I've always been respectful of all three major consoles. Sorry, Sega.
When I got my PS1, I was definitely very much about my PS1. I did play my N64 and I loved my N64, but for the longest time, I was very much about Sony.
The GameCube was totally my jam. The GameCube was my little buddy, had a little handle, I could take it with me anywhere, except I didn't go anywhere. But if I did, it would have come with me.
And then I got really into my 360 because I wasn't a fan of the original Xbox as much. It didn't make sense to me until I got a 360. And then all of a sudden the 360 made sense. And then I started playing Uno on Xbox Live and thought it was the most hilarious thing ever.
Last gen, I think my console of choice was the Xbox 360. I kind of went in without any loyalty to either Sony or Microsoft. I kind of went into both generations with loyalty to Nintendo. And the Wii was okay, there it is. But like, I played the 360 the most because it had exclusives that I really liked. I was huge into Gears of War and Halo and Viva Pinata, obviously all three equally. But the community of multiplayer with my friends for Gears of War is why I would play Gears of War just constantly.
The Xbox 360 was one of my favorite consoles of all time because it was the console that brought me back to daily gaming. When I was in college, I really took a break and stepped away from playing a lot of video games, and so after I graduated, that's when the cycle for the Xbox 360 had just began, and that was the console that got me back into games because Halo Reach had come out. And I was super excited to play that game, and Rock Band and Guitar Hero were both out, and I spent literally thousands of hours between those two games on my Xbox 360.
The 360 was my console of choice because I was all about that e-penis, and those achievements in the 360 made my penis even bigger than everyone else's, and I was quite proud of that penis. And to this day, my penis is about 45,000 points high.
I feel like I play the PS4 a lot. I do really love PS Plus and all the free games that I'm racking up.
I want to almost say Nintendo because no one has Smash.
Well, right now, with the PS4 and the Xbox One, neither has really good exclusives. What's going on, guys? We're like a year into this console cycle almost, and where are they? I guess Halo's coming. Bloodborne's pretty cool, but I kind of feel like it's an even game right now between Xbox One and PS4. And then Nintendo canceled Zelda, so it's like, why? What am I supposed to buy?
Nintendo definitely has the best original IPs, I believe. Nintendo just needs to put out good games around its IPs and get them to us in a timely manner, Legend of Zelda, and then we will be fine, we will be kosher.
I grew up with Nintendo, so they could put out almost anything and I would give it a try. It doesn't mean that I'm super excited about it because they haven't announced Super Mario Galaxy 3. Where is it, Nintendo? When is it coming? Why are you holding out on me?
Sony and Nintendo have the best exclusives simply because they really are that. They are exclusive to those consoles. With Xbox, they say it is exclusive to the Xbox One, but really you could get those games on the PC too. So how exclusive is it? I mean, if you want to play Super Mario 3D World, you have to have a Nintendo. If you want to play God of War, you have to have a PlayStation.
Even though I've been spending more time on my PlayStation 4, the Xbox exclusives appeal to me more. Just because there's a lot of Japanese games that never really drew me in. I know everyone's excited about The Last Guardian, but it's not really blowing my skirt up. I'm really excited about Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm really excited about Halo 5. Those are the kinds of games and those are the kinds of exclusives that I really am excited to play.
No, all the consoles have exclusive games that I will go to that console for. I play a lot more on Xbox, but again, you can't play Mario Kart on your PS4.
Gamers don't have as much loyalty as you think they do. Like, they're gonna go to the console that makes them the happiest and gives them what they want.
Between the PS4 and the Xbox One, I think I like the Xbox One controller. It just kind of fits in my hand better, but the greatest controller of all time is the GameCube controller. Duh, it's like, I mean, everybody knows.
I learned how to play FPS on an Xbox 360 controller, so I really like that one. I really like the changes that they made for the Xbox One controller, but man, they improved the DualShock leaps and bounds from 3 to 4. I hated the DualShock 3. You could not pay me to play with that controller. I absolutely despise it. I used a third-party controller with my PS3.
I love the Xbox 360 controller because when I button mash, this part of my hand gets super sore. So I'll usually, like during like a cutscene or something, I'll like start massaging my hand with that little nub at the end of the Xbox 360. And you can't really do that with a PlayStation controller because the nubs are kind of like bent down. No one likes bent nubs.
I think that the Wii U controller, the gamepad, is so underutilized, and Nintendo could have found so many inventive ways to ingratiate that into gameplay. For example, had they done like a Dungeons and Dragons game and the DM had their little gamepad and was doing everything secretly there. There are so many cool ways that that gamepad could have been used and hasn't been.
I have to say the Steam controller, that's weird. I don't know if you guys have played with it, but it is difficult to learn. And after how many years I spent learning twin sticks, I am not gonna learn those fancy touchpads. Not doing it.
Well, I guess that's what's weird, is that I don't necessarily consider it to be a war. I see people acting as if it's a war, so I feel being a general of an army just is weird. I'm kind of like,
oh, I love being in charge. If I was the console war general, I would get as many third-party partnerships as possible because there's only so many exclusives that you can get to your box. What's really going to bring over the mass amount of consumers is having amazing partnerships with developers and publishers that they know. Ubisoft, Activision, EA, 2K, Bethesda, the people who put out the games and the franchises that gamers have been in love with for decades. That's really where the console makers need to focus their energy, is saying who are the biggest game makers out there that aren't us and what can we do to woo them to give us content you can only get on our box. That's what they need to do.
If I was a console war general, I would probably be leading the Nintendo army, And as such, I would load the Vanguard with Pikmin and just send the Pikmin out. Show us where those landmines are. And that's when we bring in the Snorlaxes. Drop in Snorlaxes, just drop in Snorlaxes.
Get all the monies and buy everything. Name it all Mari Station.
If you want to win and like make the other side look bad, just give the people more free stuff. Because people really like free stuff.
I don't know how we would win when I feel that gamers are winners because they have options. There you go, I've solved the problem. Everybody go home, pack it up, play your games. Play games on whatever console you want. You want to play it on an iPad even, or an Android tablet, feel free. Look at that, it doesn't even involve the consoles and you can still do it. Well, I guess Nathan should probably get a gun, because I mean, there's a lot of armor. There's a lot of armor on Chief. He's gonna be a lot taller. That is way too difficult of a question that I can necessarily pick, although I'd want to watch the fight. I would absolutely want to watch the fight.
Actually, I've done some research on this one, and I'm sorry, Nathan Drake, I know you really love the Banana Republic, but your khakis really aren't gonna match up to, let's see, the Mjolnir Power Assault armor. Yeah, I don't think your khakis are gonna cut it against that. Yeah, what kind of power grid does your khakis have?
Master Chief, 100%, pound his pretty face into the ground. Pound it.
As much as I love Nathan Drake, I really think Master Chief would win in a fight simply because he's very futuristic, he has all sorts of weapons, he has like major body armor. However, Sony's other exclusive character, Kratos, now that could give Master Chief a run for his money. And honestly, Spartan versus Spartan, hello? Tell me you wouldn't pay pay-per-view for that shit.
I really want to know what weapons they're bringing to the fight. I mean, can he use like Cortana to help him in any kind of way? Is it just gonna be, no, it's just gonna be them with just like hand weapons? Do they get to use like, does he get to use spacey guns versus like real world guns?
Oh, Master Chief, this isn't even a question. I love Nathan Drake, he's cute and he's really charming, but Master Chief is hands down one of the biggest badasses in video games.
Oh, wow. Nathan Drake, strictly on looks.
Like, you don't know what Chief looks like. He looks like a raisin once he takes off that armor. You can only imagine. He's got to be attractive, I guess.
He is one of the California raisins.
We found him. That's where they went. They just took them and they put them in armor.
I feel like PC and consoles are kind of apples and oranges in that they're both fruits, they're both pretty good for you, but like you're gonna get a different experience from them. Like one like is kind of like you have to peel it with your hands, but like the other one you have to peel with like a knife, and like they're like way different.
PCs are great, there will always be exclusives that are console only. I do love the cost of games on things like Steam. I love that I can connect my PC to a TV and still feel like I'm playing a console game.
I still play with a controller on my PC. I don't use the mouse and keyboard, even though I know that's the whole reason why people play on a mouse and keyboard. I just can't. Like my hands feel so like gnarly and old lady, and then they actually start to like hurt because I can't like move my hands fast enough, so I end up looking like this when I play PC games.
Like if you want to play PC, great, but you shouldn't be mean to the console gamers who don't want to try as hard. And console gamers, I know your way's easier, but you need to understand that this way is, you know, a little more technologically powerful. And then there's Steam, which is, oh yeah, there's Steam. Okay, yeah, PC's better.
Are you gonna get better graphics and better sound and better audio on a PC? Absolutely. No one's disputing that. But man, it can get complicated sometimes. There's all these different clients. You've got Origin, you've got Uplay, and then you have Steam, and then you have to get all these codes and do this and do this. Now, it's not that much more complicated than consoles, but it's just that extra step. And I'm just lazy. So for me, console gaming is the lazy gamer's way to go, and that's where I'm always gonna be.
You know, I have to say yes. I have to say yes for that. No, I can't. No, Mari. Yes. No. They're all good, guys. Why don't we just get all of them? Let's get all of our money together and get everything.